Now in 4 News Now, the Meade School Board is set to vote on changing policies regarding transgender students. What rules would change and why they could lose thousands in funding.
We have some rain on the way to greet you as you head out the door tomorrow morning. I'll let you know how long it will stick around in the First Alert forecast.
Some say one street near AM Cannon Park is too dangerous for walkers and bicyclists. We'll show you the new safety plan, plus the fight for funding coming up. You're watching a special edition of 4 News Now.
And we begin with that breaking news. Within the last half hour, the Meade School District voted to delay voting on its proposed new transgender student policy. Thanks so much for being with us. I'm Derek Dice.
And I'm Kirsten O'Connor. At the center of it all is if schools should follow state or federal laws when it comes to transgender students. Marissa Rio joins us in studio tonight to break down those changes.
Thank you, Derek and Kirsten. These proposed changes come after the Washington Office of Superintendent of Public Instruction deemed Meade's transgender policy non-compliant in February. While this new policy is lengthy, it does not include any changes to transgender participation in school sports. While the new policy does favor federal law, it does stay consistent with state laws in other ways. The new policy says the district will assess locker room access for transgender students on a case-by-case basis. It also says that for any overnight school trips, student rooms will be assigned based on sex at birth. It gives guidelines for family involvement and pronoun usage as well. A few people spoke against this policy today.
How could forcing these kids into overnight rooms that are not consistent with their gender identities possibly be safe for them? How are you planning to carry out that policy? Are we going to have a registry, genital checks, a snitch form? Are we going to do chromosome testing? You inspect one kid, you're going to have to inspect them all.
The district said it's delaying tonight's vote because it received feedback from OSPI urging them not to pass this policy just an hour before the meeting.
I feel like we need to look over this with the legal team and have time to come back and have further discussions with the board and get more clarity with OSPI and go through each item instead of just this summarization of their opinion on those.
This is a graph the board presented at their last meeting. According to board members, around 80% of its funding comes from the state and 5% comes from the federal government. Members have acknowledged that this policy puts their federal and state funding at risk depending on how the rules are interpreted. During their last meeting also, board members pointed out that this policy also puts them at risk of litigation. They said they did their best to balance those risks and the needs of their students. Members did not provide a timeline as to when they would revisit this policy. In studio, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
All right, Marissa, thank you. The Spokane City Council will vote tonight on an ordinance that safeguards protections for the LGBTQ plus community. It was proposed by Councilman Paul Dillon. If approved, it would affirm the right for people to seek gender-affirming care and maintaining an LGBTQ plus liaison officer with the Spokane Police Department to collaborate with the community. All right, get the rain gear ready as our team of weather experts are tracking some showers.
It's going to be soggy for the kids at the bus stop. Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker has your First Alert forecast.
You are absolutely right. The clouds have already arrived. It's been a gray second half of the day in Spokane. This is the live look over the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena this evening, and the satellite and radar shows those clouds streaming in with just the hint of a few sprinkles through the Okanagan Valley and starting to move into the Northeast Mountains as well. But the main rain is still a few hours away. Here's our chance of precipitation over the next 12 hours. Measurable rain unlikely through about midnight. And then things start picking up slightly after midnight. Finally, by the time the morning commute is underway, we have a very good chance of rain across the region. Despite the wet start to the day, we are going to warm up nicely. Most locations in the 60s around the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area. A little bit cooler down on the Palouse and into the central panhandle where that rain is going to linger later in the day. The opposite is true over the Columbia Basin where temperatures will climb into the 70s. We've got 80-degree weather in our 7-day forecast. I'll tell you all about that. Plus, have a look at the Bloomsday weekend outlook in just a few minutes, Derek.
All right. Sounds good, Chris. Thank you. The Spokane City Council has approved a $1.25 million contract to enhance safety along the segment of Maxwell Avenue.
Yeah, the plan targets a portion in the West Central neighborhood right adjacent to A.M. Cannon Park. Here's a stretch of Maxwell that we're talking about from Walnut Street to Pettit Drive. You can see it's next to the south side of A.M. Cannon Park. Hunter Bertram shows us what this plan aims to accomplish.
We're reclaiming our neighborhood for safety because this neighborhood has a definite reputation that doesn't scream safety.
Safety is an ongoing project. It's never fully solved with one small fix. It's a multifaceted approach of efforts to make neighbors, especially here in West Central, feel
Pride in our neighborhood.
Here on Maxwell, next to A.M. Cannon Park.
Pretty much once or twice a day, somebody's ripping through here, probably 50, 60 miles an hour.
With that, some say it becomes impossible to cross Maxwell, cutting off the neighborhood to a major public amenity.
This is where children and families are, and this is where we recreate and we're having fun.
Now the City Council may change that. A contract Monday funds bike lanes, upgraded bus stops, and at this crosswalk is where they're hoping to make improvements, making it more visible and prominent to hopefully slow down drivers.
So if we don't tackle the problem right now, if we don't see improvements now, we're not sure where the funding might come from in the future.
This project's funding is about 80% state grant, the rest from arterial street funding. In West Central, Hunter Bertram, 4 News Now.
Well, we used to warn kids about strangers in cars, but now, rather than a van driving down the street, the stranger danger is in the palms of their hands. New apps are popping up every day. It can be hard to keep up and understand what your kids are doing and who they're talking to online. We've reported previously on predators reaching out through popular apps like Snapchat and Instagram, but there are other apps parents should be aware of. Detective Amy Nisley of the Coeur d'Alene Police Department is part of the Attorney General's newly formed Idaho Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. Her job is to help keep our kids safe online while investigating cases of people taking advantage of kids online.
So we are just a tip of the iceberg of what's actually going on out there. Approaching them, responding to them, trying to elicit videos, sexual contact, something of that nature.
So what can we do to keep our kids safe while they're navigating the online world we live in? Watch Natalie Grant's special report tomorrow on Good Morning Northwest. Well, are you planning your next vacation? See how artificial intelligence could help you save time.
And why experts say it still can't replace the human touch. That's coming up. A Spokane Valley man accused of torching his old home and terrorizing his neighborhood. We have the explosive details.
Plus, new details on if the Kootenai County Sheriff is being investigated for his role in removing a woman from a Republican town hall meeting. It's next on 4 News Now.
Connect with 4 News Now on KXLY+.
4 News Now is brought to you by STCU and Volunteers Count.
At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
2 minutes for checking to Berkeley County. Get your exclusive Spokane Chiefs debit card from Numerica today.
Attention Eastern Washington and Western Idaho shoppers. The great $500,000 Spokane Ennis Fine Furniture Liquidation ends May 4th. It's almost over. This remaining inventory has been slashed with final reductions and it all has to go. Unbelievable, huge savings. Find these killer deals at our temporary off-site showroom at 7503 North Division next to Big 5. You will not be disappointed. No reasonable offer will be refused.
For the arts, July 8th through 13th. Tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com.
If your bath has seen a lot of life, nobody gives it new life like Bath Fitter. Whatever shape your bath is in, Bath Fitter will transform it with an amazing number of styles and watertight walls that are grout-free and easy to clean. With 40 years of experience, Bath Fitter knows what people want. An affordable remodel that isn't just beautiful, it's guaranteed for life. When it's time to give your bath new life, it just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
Just when you think you've got online safety figured out, a new app pops up, then another. Predators targeting your kids where you don't expect. I'm Natalie Grant. I'll show you the 21 apps you need to know and how to protect your family tomorrow on Good Morning Northwest.
Built for adventure and engineered for safety. Toyota trucks are some of the best trucks on the road today. And Findlay Downtown Toyota is stocked full with a great selection, including the new TRD trucks loaded with options.
It's a sale so big, it can only last one day. This Wednesday for 8 short hours at Walker's. Save an additional 20% off all furniture. Plus, pay over time with 5 years special financing. This Wednesday only at Walker's.
This man is assaulting me! This man is assaulting me!
Well, many are wondering if Kootenai County Sheriff Bob Norris will be investigated for directing security members to forcefully remove a woman from a Republican town hall back in February. 2 days after that incident, the sheriff's office said it was aware of the incident involving Sheriff Norris and that there would be an independent investigation.
As of today, we have not found any evidence of that. However, when we requested records from the Idaho Attorney General's office to see if they were investigating, they denied our request, citing that the records are part of an active investigation. Under Idaho state law, the Attorney General is to respond and investigate if an elected county officer has allegations that he or she violated state law. This video from that town hall shows Sheriff Norris tugging on Teresa Borenpaul's arm, trying to get her to leave after she shouted at the speaker. He's later seen recording security members as they forcibly drag her out of that event. This is still developing. We will update you as we learn more.
Well, neighbors in Spokane Valley hope the man accused of burning down a home in their neighborhood stays in jail for a long time.
They say Cody Jensen's house was a problem for the past 2 years, well before Jensen decided to set it on fire. Derek Strom talked with neighbors who hope they never see Jensen again.
He told them a month ago he was going to do it.
Neighbors that live around this house in Spokane Valley say they were afraid for their safety over the last 2 years. The house was owned by Cody Jensen, but police say he recently lost ownership of the house and tried to burn it down using bottles filled with gasoline.
I came out and spoke to the police officers who told me that that was the property owner had Molotov cocktails and had set his place on fire, but then was going around the neighborhood also setting fires around the neighborhood.
Neighbors believe there were many homeless people staying at the property over the past 2 years. Many of the people I talked to that live nearby were concerned about drug use at the house. Police records say one man living at the house was threatened by Jensen a month before Saturday's fires.
All winter long, we knew that there was no power at the property, but yet people were still living there. They were burning fires. And frequently the fire trucks would still come, the police would come daily.
Now, neighbors that live around this house say they've seen lots of crime happening around the property, and they've called police dozens of times hoping that they'll do something about it, but they're not satisfied with the job that police have done in preventing any of this from happening.
Just to know he's still in jail and not living in that burnt out house, that would work.
Jensen had his first court appearance, and the judge raised his bail from $100,000 to $500,000. He's charged with 4 counts of arson as well as counts of maliciously placing explosives and harassment. His next court date is set for May 13th. In Spokane Valley, Derek Strom, 4 News Now.
Well, over the weekend, lawmakers in Olympia passed a bill that would limit how much landlords could raise rent year over year.
If signed into law, most rent increases would be capped at 7% plus inflation or 10%, whichever is less. Supporters say this bill will help people or help keep people in their homes.
On the whole, this bill will provide meaningful protections for Washingtonians and predictability, which for folks that are renting and don't know what those rent increases will be, knowing and having that consistency and that predictability, I think is going to provide a lot of relief for people.
But critics argue this is an example of government overreach and will actually hurt the housing supply.
I do believe that the policy that's before me tonight is going to be devastating for our housing providers, and we need housing providers to be a part of the solution in the housing crisis that we have.
Now, the bill now heads to the governor's desk. He has not said publicly if he will sign it or not.
$2 million of Washington's operating budget will go to Maddie's Place, a local organization that cares for some of Spokane's most vulnerable babies. Maddie's Place is a nursery for babies born addicted to drugs. It helps nurse both the babies and their moms back to health. The organization spent nearly a year lobbying for this funding, which is coming from the state's opioid abatement fund. CEO Sean Cross says that permanent funding is their next goal.
A clinic just like ours in Dayton, Ohio, is getting paid a per diem amount to take care of the baby and the mom out of Medicaid in Ohio. That's what we need to do here.
Reliable funding would mean more clinics like Maddie's Place could be built around the region. Cross says nurseries like these are invaluable to the families they help, but also for those researching the current opioid epidemic.
The WSU study showed that of the 71 infants that came to Maddie's Place, the average infant was exposed to 4 substances. Because of polysubstance and fentanyl, there's real concern about what's happening.
So far, Maddie's Place has treated 130 babies and 85 moms who struggled with addiction. Out of that group of 85, 95% are in recovery and in custody of their infants.
Your Tuesday planner, we start off with wet weather, and then it becomes more hit and miss showers, more miss than hit in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, but we'll see some showers and possible thunderstorms in the mountains. That high of 64 is above average. Our average high is 61. Gets a lot warmer in the 7-day forecast. That's coming up after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
It's a sale so big, it can only last one day. This Wednesday for 8 short hours at Walker's. Save an additional 20% off all furniture. Plus pay over time with 5 years special financing. This Wednesday only at Walker's.
Just when you think you've got online safety figured out, a new app pops up, then another. Predators targeting your kids where you don't expect. I'm Natalie Grant. I'll show you the 21 apps you need to know and how to protect your family tomorrow on Good Morning Northwest.
If you're someone suffering from neuropathy, you may be experiencing burning, numbness, and tingling in your legs and feet. You may also start feeling pins and needles and losing balance, which can affect your ability to drive or walk. No matter the cause of your neuropathy, there are 3 common factors: lack of blood flow, lack of oxygen, and lack of nerve innervation. Many people feel frustrated with their diagnosis because they go to the doctor and the doctor says the same thing every time. You have neuropathy, here's medication, and you have to live with it. But I want you to know there are solutions and we may be able to help. My name is Dr. Mathen Wheeler, founder of North Idaho Neuropathy. My team and I are dedicated to helping you restore nerve function and take back control of your life. As a community service, we're offering a free nerve screening to see if our treatment protocol, which can stop and reverse neuropathy, is right for you. So please pick up the phone and call today.
New York City's hottest hits are landing right here in Spokane. Join STCU Best of Broadway, live at First Interstate Center for the Arts. It's lights up on a thrilling new season. Moulin Rouge, the musical, The Notebook, Back to the Future, Some Like It Hot, and the epic return of Disney's The Lion King. You just have to be there. Get your season tickets and get swept away at shows.broadwayspokane.com.
Attention Eastern Washington and Western Idaho shoppers. The great $500,000 Spokane Ennis Fine Furniture Liquidation ends May 4th. It's almost over. This remaining inventory has been slashed with final reductions and it all has to go. Unbelievable, huge savings. Find these killer deals at our temporary off-site showroom at 7503 North Division next to Big 5. You will not be disappointed. No reasonable offer will be refused.
4 News Now is brought to you by Parker Toyota.
All right, pretty warm again today, but Chris Crocker telling us it's going to get even warmer as the week goes on.
It is. We have a little bit of rain to deal with first. Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker joining us now. Chris, it'll help get some of the sidewalk chalk that we have all over my driveway. I love the sidewalk chalk.
Enjoy that while it's there. And one day, you won't have those drawings anymore, as I know. 62 in Spokane right now with overcast conditions. It is mostly cloudy in Coeur d'Alene. and 62 degrees as well. Temperatures today topped out a little above average. Our forecast radar starting off at our current time. Plenty of clouds streaming through this evening. Then we'll start to see that rain developing after midnight. A few sprinkles at first. The more steady precipitation will develop around 4 a.m. across the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area. Then we start to see a back edge move through by around 11 a.m., at least for Spokane and Kootenai counties. We'll continue to see that rain down on the Palouse and into the central panhandle as that moves off. Hit and miss showers behind that main band of precipitation, our main front, and the potential for a little bit of evening thunderstorm activity over the higher terrain, but nothing especially widespread. And once we dry out, we're really going to dry out as high pressure builds back in. Here is the latest look at some of the forecast rain totals, and may see a little more precipitation with this system than originally thought. We're seeing more in the neighborhood of 2 to 3/10 of an inch of rain, where initially it looked like we may just get a few hundredths. So this would be beneficial and I know very welcome, especially for our local farmers and anyone who's done a bunch of gardening so far this spring could probably use a good drink on their yard. Our chance of precipitation tomorrow, 80% chance of measurable rain, but then that goes down to 0 Wednesday, Thursday, and most of Friday. Late Friday, a system comes in that brings us a chance of showers through the first part of the weekend and possibly on Bloomsday Sunday. Our temperature trend, meanwhile, is like Doomsday Hill. We're going from 64 tomorrow, a little above average, all the way up to 91 on Friday. And then we swan dive down into the lower 60s. Very comfortable for Saturday and Bloomsday Sunday. Don't want it much warmer than that for runners. And then we start warming back up again as we head into the work week. Tracking our weather pattern again, we have this front coming through, and then behind it, high pressure building in for some dry days before we bring in that system later in the week. Your planning forecast then, 61 on Saturday with a 50% chance of precipitation, only a 20% chance on Bloomsday, and I think that's going to be afternoon. The race itself should be dry with 40 degrees to start the day. Another nod to gardeners. Overnight lows will be in the 40s through the 7-day forecast, which is great news. And all in all, pretty much something for everyone on that forecast. I'm going to call it a win, Derek.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, Chris, thank you. Well, planning the perfect family vacation can feel overwhelming.
Yeah, you're telling me. But now travelers are turning to artificial intelligence for a little extra help. CNN's Michael Yoshida shows us how AI is making travel planning easier and a lot less stressful.
It can be stressful and time-consuming to research locations and try and put together an itinerary. Some of us rely on the help of travel blogs, maybe even a travel agent. But with artificial intelligence playing a bigger role in many of our lives, could AI help in planning that summer escape?
From flights to hotels and activities, trip planning can be a lot.
AI is really wonderful in doing a lot of the heavy lifting.
Gabriela Garcia has organized several family vacations using artificial intelligence.
Helping source ideas, helping with organization.
ChatGPT can help with research and brainstorming. Hopper for hotel and flight prices. Mindtrip for itineraries. There are a whole host of other platforms and apps you can choose from too. Garcia says no matter which you use, be specific and remember.
It doesn't take into account things like mood or weather, or if you're going to be hungry between certain activities.
That personal touch is why travel agent Alexis Williams says, even with AI growing in popularity, her business continues to thrive.
AI can come and give her ideas like, this is their itinerary and this is it, and now you need to go here and book it. See, I'm going to do all that booking for you.
Travel bloggers feeling the rise of smart tech too.
I wrote a blog post about the destination that I don't think anybody wrote about. And then I looked it up on ChatGPT and I found like very similar information.
Chris Oberman says providing nuance and perspectives a machine can't is key, but also acknowledges AI is here to stay, and now another
piece of the puzzle in the whole decision process. You read something on a blog and maybe you ask something like ChatGPT as well. And then from that information, you base your next trip.
And as these AI apps and tools become more prevalent and popular, Garcia adds that you should always do your due diligence, try and talk to an actual person before booking or even arriving on that vacation. Reporting in Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida.
Well, still ahead, cardinals from around the world will soon gather in Vatican City to choose a new pope. Find out when the conclave will begin coming up.
Ahead of his 100th day in office, President Donald Trump faces historic low approval ratings and growing backlash over immigration and tariffs. How the White House is pushing back, next on 4 News Now.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Hey, Donnie, can you give me one reason to call the advocates?
Sorry, Ken, I can't.
I can. I mean, who fights like we do? You can't give me one reason?
Nope.
How about that we take on big insurance bullies? We're not afraid of any case. We're passionate and smart. Really? You can't come up with one reason?
I can't come up with one, Ken. Because there are 500 million.
All the money we've recovered for our clients. Injured? You deserve justice. You deserve an advocate.
Attention Eastern Washington and Western Idaho shoppers. The great $500,000 Spokane Ennis Fine Furniture Liquidation ends May 4th. It's almost over. This remaining inventory has been slashed with final reductions and it all has to go. Unbelievable, huge savings. Find these killer deals at our temporary off-site showroom at 7503 North Division next to Big 5. You will not be disappointed. No reasonable offer will be refused.
At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
2 minutes for checking to Berkeley County. Get your exclusive Spokane Chiefs debit card from Numerica today.
Skincare can start in the laundry room. That's why I always recommend All Free Clear for sensitive skin. It's free of dyes and perfumes.
It's a key part of my self-care routine and is gentle for my skin and hers too.
For an effective clean that's gentle on skin, all you need is All Free Clear.
Welcome to Avanta Dental, where we treat you like family because you deserve the best.
At Avanta Dental, we pride ourselves on providing top-notch care.
With our team of expert dentists and truly state-of-the-art technology, it's no wonder why we're the highest-rated office in Washington State. Avanta Dental, where your smile is our priority. Book your appointment today. Call us today at 425-0088 or come visit us in Liberty Lake.
It's a sale so big, it can only last one day. This Wednesday for 8 short hours at Walker's. Save an additional 20% off all furniture. Plus, pay over time with 5 years special financing. This Wednesday only at Walker's.
4 News Now is brought to you by WSECU.
Well, around the world now, the Vatican says the conclave to elect a new pope will begin on May 7th. It will take place inside the Sistine Chapel. Only cardinals under the age of 80 are allowed to vote. If a candidate receives 2/3 of the total vote, he will become the next pope.
And back in the U.S., tomorrow marks the end of President Donald Trump's first 100 days in office. According to a new poll, his approval rating is down to 39%, which is the lowest of any president in the last 80 years.
This comes as the Trump administration is being criticized for a recent ICE raid in Colorado on what investigators are calling an illegal nightclub. ABC's Perry Russum has the story.
Ahead of President Trump's 100th day in office tomorrow, he faces historically low approval ratings. New polling from ABC News, Washington Post, and Ipsos shows his approval rating is 39%, with 55% of Americans saying they disapprove of the job he's doing. The Trump administration today highlighting their work on immigration, placing pictures of those arrested on the White House North Lawn.
This is the police with the search warrant.
Federal agents in Colorado yesterday raiding what they say is an illegal underground nightclub. The White House claims it was being used by the Venezuelan gang, Tren de Aragua. Federal officials say more than 100 undocumented immigrants were detained in what's being called Operation Tidal Wave.
Operation Tidal Wave is a preview of what is to come around this country. Large-scale operations that employ our state and local enforcement partners to get criminal, illegal aliens off our streets.
It comes as 53% of Americans disapprove of Trump's handling of immigration. 46% approve.
I'm not running a popularity contest. I'm enforcing the laws. And by securing the border, like I said this morning, we have the most secure border in the history of the nation today.
On Trump's tariffs, 71% of Americans say they believe the tariffs will have a negative effect on inflation. 27% say they'll have a positive effect. Still no trade deals have been announced. Trump telling Time magazine he's made more than 200 deals, even though there are only 195 countries in the world.
I believe that he is referring to sub-deals within the negotiations we're doing.
Even with all those numbers going against Trump, Americans still trust him more to handle the country's main problems than Democrats. Trump today reacting to those poll numbers, calling them fake and attacking the media. Perry Russom, ABC News, Washington.
And tomorrow, the president will be sitting down with ABC News to mark the end of his first 100 days. You can watch the exclusive interview from the Oval Office right here on 4 News Now at 8 o'clock.
Well, having a baby is a joyful but sometimes stressful time for any parent. And now parents have something else to be concerned about, the rising cost of baby safety products. President Trump has slapped 145% tariffs on imports from China and a 10% minimum tax on all other countries. Retailers and trade policy experts say the vast majority of children's and baby safety products are manufactured exclusively in China. As a result, the prices for some leading brands of strollers have already gone up by hundreds of dollars. Dozens of Democrats in Congress have called on the Trump administration to exempt baby safety products from tariffs. All right, the Spokane Chiefs aren't showing any signs of slowing down after winning their last 5 games.
And after games 1 and 2 in the Spokane Arena, they are really hoping to keep that momentum in Portland, Sydney.
Absolutely, and if they win these next 2 games, they can call themselves the Western Conference champions. I'm going to tell you guys the keys to success for the Chiefs right now. Plus, after the NFL draft, a few local players are still getting calls from teams. Which ones get a chance at the pro level? It's all coming up next in sports.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
What does it mean to be here for good? It means being here for the artists who dream, the shop owner who knows your order by heart, and the mentors who leave a lasting impact. Here for singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game and big comeback stories. Here for the long haul from Omak to Sandpoint to Baker City. Here for your family, your neighbors, for you. STCU. Here for good.
It's a sale so big, it can only last one day. This Wednesday for 8 short hours at Walker's. Save an additional 20% off all furniture. Plus, pay over time with 5 years special financing. This Wednesday only at Walker's.
The wait is over. It's grand opening day at Brett's RV and Marine in Liberty Lake. Join us Saturday, May 3rd from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. for a day packed with free food from local food trucks, photo op with fun mascots and fairy tale princesses, face painting, s'more making stations, store tours, live music, prize giveaways, and amazing deals on every RV and boat. Off I-90 in Liberty Lake. Get the details at brettsrv.com and come celebrate.
Looking for a great truck at a great price that's built for adventure and engineered for safety? Then stop by Findlay downtown Toyota today and take a test drive in a new Tundra or Tacoma truck. And also check out the incredible TRD upgrades.
Did you know Corsair is an old-timey word for pirate? Me neither. But more importantly, it's a new-timey word for a luxury car that'll shiver your timbers at Northern Quest. It's the $110,000 Corsair Conquest giveaway. Play daily with your Camus Rewards card and you could set sail in a brand new Lincoln Corsair. Grand prize drawing May 31st. Pre-party from 2 to 6 p.m. in case you're feeling, pillagey.
Attention Eastern Washington and Western Idaho shoppers. The great $500,000 Spokane Ennis Fine Furniture Liquidation ends May 4th. It's almost over. This remaining inventory has been slashed with final reductions and it all has to go. Unbelievable, huge savings. Find these killer deals at our temporary off-site showroom at 7503 North Division next to Big 5. You will not be disappointed. No reasonable offer will be refused.
All right, welcome back. The Spokane Chiefs have a 2-game lead over the Portland Winterhawks in the Western Conference Championship Series.
Since games 1 and 2 of the series were in Spokane, games 3 and 4 headed to Portland. Sydney Berger's in studio for how they can continue this momentum on the road. Sydney.
Well, we've definitely seen the offense come to life, and that's what's allowed the Chiefs to win their last 5 games. Spokane has also been put in overtime situations 4 times during their playoff run, winning every one of those games too. Everyone from rookies to veterans are playing their best hockey at the right time. Forward Asanali Sarkinov earned Rookie of the Week honors for last week's heroics, scoring 4 total goals in 2 games last week. And forward Andrew Crystal took home WHL Player of the Week after a hat trick in last night's 6-5 overtime win. Crystal has also found the score sheet in 12 playoff games. That's all of the playoff games so far, so consistency from him in Portland will be heavily weighed on. My eyes are on Captain Berkeley Catton. He has 25 assists in the postseason. That's the most of any Chief ever in a single playoff run. Moral of the story, they got to keep doing what they're doing. First team to 4 wins takes the conference championship. So while it'd be awesome to see them win in Spokane, we're going to be super pumped if they pull off a couple wins in Portland to seal the title. Well, the Seattle Mariners are on a hot streak after winning their last 6 series. Their latest win comes after beating the Miami Marlins at home yesterday. It was a team effort with 7 runs on the board, and now the Mariners have found themselves with another weekly award. Today, Jorge Polanco was named AL Player of the Week, and it's the 2nd week in a row a Mariner has earned the title. Also very deserving. Polanco logged 4 home runs, 2 doubles, and 8 RBIs last week. And along with Polanco's praise, pitcher Logan Evans earned his flowers in his MLB debut yesterday. Manager Dan Wilson saying he was very pleased with the performance.
Logan Evans, I thought, pitched an outstanding ball game. You know, a guy in his debut seemed very calm, very collected. He was in control of what he was doing the whole game, and I thought he pitched very well for his first time out.
Evans is the 14th Mariner pitcher ever to earn the win in his MLB debut. The Mariners continue on a stretch of home games with 2 against the Angels. First pitch against LA is tomorrow at 6:40. Former WSU guard Cedric Coward has found a new home. Coward announced on his social media that he'll be playing for the Duke Blue Devils in the 2025-26 season. He kept his options open when he entered the transfer portal and said he would test the NBA waters. Coward will play for his 4th school after playing at Willamette, Eastern, Washington State, and now Duke. Coward suffered a season-ending injury in just 6 games into this past season, but he averaged 17.7 and 7 rebounds per game in that time. Well, once the NFL draft concludes, teams are quick to find the guys that went undrafted and sign them to free agency contracts or invite them to a rookie minicamp. Both opportunities entail hard work to prove you deserve a spot on the 53-man roster for the start of the regular season. First overall draft pick quarterback Cam Ward and 3rd-round receiver Kyle Williams were the former Cougs that heard their name called, but here's a couple guys that still get the opportunity to work with NFL teams. Washington State's Esa Pole, Eastern Washington's Efton Chisholm, and Idaho's Tommy McCormick, all big pieces to their college teams in the last few seasons, getting undrafted free agent contracts to NFL teams. The ones who get a rookie minicamp tryout with the hopes of earning a spot on the roster for training camp, D lineman Nusi Milani with the Chiefs, and Central Washington safety Tanner Volk with the Seahawks. That'll wrap us up for sports.
All right, Sydney, thank you. Volunteers are taking to the streets of downtown Spokane for Spring Clean Week ahead of Bloomsday this Sunday. They're picking up litter, cleaning graffiti, giving the city that extra shine for the tens of thousands of people expected to take part in the 49th race.
You get to beautify downtown, right? You get to, like, and all these people, they come down here and they get to enjoy it, and they want to come back because it's not filthy, it's not dirty, it's a welcoming place.
This annual volunteer event runs until this Friday, May 2nd, and the Downtown Spokane Partnership invites people to join them during their lunch break. Pickup sessions are from 11 to 1. As for Bloomsday, we still have some time to get registered and only pay, I believe it's $35 because the price goes up.
Starting on Friday, I believe it is.
Yes, so still time to make that game day decision. You'll just have to pay for it. And when you see the forecast, you might want to participate because it's going to be pretty nice running weather. I'll explain later in the news. Let's talk about your short-term forecast. Right now, beautiful evening. It is cloudy. It's keeping things warmer, however. Just a few breaks in the overcast. 4 things to know about your forecast. We are going to see those clouds increase with some Tuesday morning rain, afternoon showers, and possibly some thunderstorms over the higher terrain. A warming trend in our forecast. We may have our first 80-degree day of the season on Friday, but don't worry, that is not going to be sticking around for Bloomsday Sunday. That would not be an ideal weather scenario. Your Tuesday hourly forecast at 7 a.m., 47 degrees with an 80% chance of rain. Winds out of the west-southwest at 11 miles per hour. So we're going to see our winds picking up throughout the day. 90% chance of rain at 10 a.m. By noon, we are down to 20% chance and 57 degrees with just those hit and miss showers. But our winds are picking up and will continue to do so through the afternoon before things begin calming down in the evening and we begin drying out in the evening. A high tomorrow of 64 despite the showers. Temperatures running a few degrees above average. I will be back with your 7-day outlook in just a few minutes, Derek.
All right, Chris, thank you. Recycling capacity in the Inland Northwest is growing thanks to an $18 million upgrade to the region's largest recycler. The Smart Center, run by Waste Management, says it will now be able to increase its overall recycling capacity by 37%. The company has officially completed its renovations, which include new optical sorters and robots.
Upgrades that have been made to the WM Smart Center are focused on the increased efficiency, versatility, and automation that have been made to this facility.
To see what these changes mean for you and your family, you can find the story on our website, KXLY.com.
Well, with spring arriving in the Inland Northwest, many of you are heading out to enjoy the great outdoors.
And that may include checking out local wildlife. And it's not just turkeys or deer that call this area home, but bigger animals that you might run into as well.
And we have volunteers that are maintaining some game cameras in those areas. And we have sightings from late winter to early spring almost weekly on those cameras of moose and cougar. We've even caught a bobcat on there.
Find out where these animals have been spotted and what you need to know to keep you and your family safe by watching Good Morning Northwest tomorrow starting at 5 a.m. We'll be right back.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
WSECU Cashback Checking. You give and give and give. Let's give you something back. Just use your debit card to earn. WSECU Cashback Checking. Let's credit union.
Attention Eastern Washington and Western Idaho shoppers. The great $500,000 Spokane Ennis Fine Furniture Liquidation ends May 4th. It's almost over. This remaining inventory has been slashed with final reductions and it all has to go. Unbelievable, huge savings. Find these killer deals at our temporary off-site showroom at 7503 North Division next to Big 5. You will not be disappointed. No reasonable offer will be refused.
Life is an opportunity to grow, to feel, to excel. Life moves at its own pace, daring you to keep up. Life pushes you to be better and to go farther. Life has you here. We're just here to help.
Get ready for the thrill of a lifetime at the Last Stand Rodeo this Memorial Day weekend, May 23rd through the 25th in Cooley City. Presented by Chess Ford and NextEra Energy Resources. Get your tickets online at laststandrodeo.com. Don't miss it.
Just when you think you have a handle on online safety, a new app shows up, then another and another.
There's definitely some grooming that goes on in a lot of these apps.
New platforms, hidden chats, predators who know exactly where to look, and parents don't even know these spaces exist.
We are just the tip of the iceberg of what's actually going on.
I'll show you the 21 apps you need to know and how to protect your family tomorrow on Good Morning Northwest.
It's a sale so big, it can only last one day. This Wednesday for 8 short hours at Walker's. Save an additional 20% off all furniture. Plus, pay over time with 5 years special financing. This Wednesday only at Walker's.
4 News Now is brought to you by R&R RV.
For decades, owning a home has been part of the American dream, but as prices and mortgage rates remain high, it's a dream that many really can't afford.
CNN's Jen Sullivan looks at the costs to buy versus renting a home.
The cost of living continues to rise across the country. In March, the median existing home sale price climbed to over $400,000. That's nearly 3% higher than a year ago, according to the National Association of Realtors. And home sales have dipped as a result, with many buyers wondering if they can even afford a home.
Affordability continues to be the biggest barrier for Americans trying to achieve home ownership.
Alex Gailey is an analyst at the consumer finance company Bankrate. They recently found on average, renting a home is cheaper than paying a mortgage in all 50 of the largest U.S. metro areas.
We know home prices have skyrocketed in the last few years because we saw that big pandemic boom. And we also know mortgage rates have risen dramatically.
The median monthly mortgage payment in March was about $2,800, according to Redfin. Mortgages typically include property taxes and home insurance costs. Whereas the median rent was about $1,600, but rentals often tend to be smaller.
There's a lot of upfront costs that you don't have to deal with renting that can be financially beneficial for you, even if you are missing out on building equity through a home.
There is some good news. The further you live from a major city, the price gap between buying and renting a home narrows. And many experts predict home sale prices will come down in the next few years as more inventory comes onto the market. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
After 4 straight days in the 70s in Spokane, we slipped into the 60s today, but these temperatures are still above average. 68 in Coeur d'Alene, 66 today in Spokane. It was 72 in Lewiston and 73 in Moses Lake. I'll be back with your forecast after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
It's a sale so big, it can only last one day. This Wednesday for 8 short hours at Walker's. Save an additional 20% off all furniture. Plus, pay over time with 5 years special financing. This Wednesday only at Walker's.
At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
2 minutes for checking to Berkeley Cap. Get your exclusive Spokane Chiefs debit card from Numerica today.
Bathfitter showers have got people talking. Our wide selection of showers means it's exactly what we wanted. Seamless and watertight walls are much easier to clean than tiles and grout. And they stay in excellent shape. Every Bathfitter shower is backed by a lifetime warranty. And with thousands of 5-star reviews, the experience exceeds expectations. It's no wonder millions of Bathfitter customers love their new shower. It just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
Schwarzkopf has 125 years of professional hair expertise. That's why I trust them to create the perfect blonde. To help you tell your story and feel more like you. Schwarzkopf, what story will you tell?
The wait is over. It's grand opening day at Brett's RV and Marine in Liberty Lake. Join us Saturday, May 3rd from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. for a day packed with free food from local food trucks, photo op with fun mascots and fairy tale princesses, face painting, s'more making stations, store tours, live music, prize giveaways, and amazing deals on every RV and boat. Off I-90 in Liberty Lake. Get the details at brettsrv.com and come celebrate.
Attention Eastern Washington and Western Idaho shoppers. The great $500,000 Spokane Ennis Fine Furniture Liquidation ends May 4th. It's almost over. This remaining inventory has been slashed with final reductions and it all has to go. Unbelievable. Huge savings. Find these killer deals at our temporary off-site showroom at 7503 North Division next to Big 5. You will not be disappointed. No reasonable offer will be refused.
4 News Now is brought to you by George Geek Kia, Spokane.
Welcome back. We are enjoying our spring weather to the fullest.
Yeah,
really.
It sounds like we might have to get ready for some rain, though, yeah?
Yeah, briefly. It is just going to move in overnight and then through tomorrow morning. Let's take a look at our satellite and radar, and easy to see what the cause of the wet weather is. We have a front that is moving in. We're already starting to pick up some returns on this side of the mountains, but it'll be a little while before that makes its way down to the surface. We'll see the rain picking up in Spokane overnight. Winds have already been an issue today, a little bit breezy. 19-mile-per-hour gusts in Spokane Valley, 16-mile-per-hour sustained winds in Spokane, and we have more of that on the way for tomorrow. Our forecast wind gusts, we'll see the gusts that we're experiencing now taper off a little bit tonight. It's not going to be a calm night, but it'll be calmer. Then the front comes through around 9 a.m., and that's going to start picking up our winds. 23-mile-per-hour gusts in Pullman, 18-mile-per-hour gusts in Coeur d'Alene. Behind the front, we'll see those winds picking up even more in the afternoon. Here's 2 o'clock in the afternoon with 24-mile-per-hour gusts in Ritzville, 25 in Pullman, almost 20 in Spokane, and 20 miles in Coeur d'Alene. And then things start to calm down again, and we are still very much in the tree pollen season, so hopefully that wind will not cause you too many problems, but you might want to double up on your remedy of choice. Our 12-hour precipitation for tomorrow, the rain starts in the early morning hours, really picks up by the time the morning commute is getting underway, and will continue through the start of school, and then taper off to very spotty showers by the time we're into the noon hour, and should be mostly dry in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene by the evening, with a chance of some showers and thunderstorms continuing over the mountain areas. High temperatures, you can see there is quite a discrepancy, and here's what's going on. That rain is going to hold on a little bit later over the Palouse and into the central Panhandle, where we're seeing temperatures in the 50s, 60 in Coeur d'Alene, 64 in Spokane, and then points to the west will dry out earlier in the day and see the sunshine return, so make it into the 70s again in Moses Lake. Right around the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area, temperatures ranging from 58 degrees in Spirit Lake to 66 in Meade and downtown Spokane, and 67 in 9 Mile. Your 7-day forecast looks like this. Back to the sunshine, full force on Wednesday with a high close to 70, mid-70s Thursday. 76 would be the warmest day of the season so far. It will not hold that title for long. Friday, we're up to 81, and then cooling down for Bloomsday weekend. Don't love the wet weather on Saturday with so many people at the trade show and enjoying downtown Spokane, but 61 and a morning low of 40 on race day is pretty nice, Kirsten.
Yeah, last year I remember we were talking about dodging showers and wearing ponchos, so I'm into that. That looks good for me.
Okay.
You know I'm running.
I did not.
I'm running. I'm skipping. We'll see how it goes.
I can't wait to hear how that goes.
As long as you
enjoy
finish.
it.
That's right.
Enjoy.
All right, thank you, Chris. In Clearwater, Florida, an investigation into a deadly boat crash last night before 9 o'clock. This video shows a speedboat approaching a ferry carrying 45 people on board. Before slamming into it, one person on that ferry was killed, and 12 people were hurt. The Coast Guard says 6 people were on board, and the other boat ended up taking off, and they were found 3 miles away. A breathalyzer test of the captain showed no alcohol in his system. Authorities are investigating what led to the crash.
New details have been released overnight about a deadly car ramming attack at a street festival in Vancouver, BC. 11 people were killed, ranging from 5 to 65 years old. A 30-year-old man arrested on the scene is now facing murder charges. Authorities say they've had several previous incidents involving the suspect because of his mental health struggles. Police do not believe this was an act of terrorism. We'll be right back.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you. A nice relaxing stay? We got you. Wanna be entertained? We got you. Wanna play golf all day? We got you. Go to Lake Casino. Go to Lake Casino. Winning is just the beginning.
I felt like there was just no answers to get out of the anxiety and the depression that I had.
I was suicidal all the time, thinking about it nonstop, every day, every moment.
Depression and anxiety rob millions of us of our day-to-day lives, but nothing seems to pull you out of it. Introducing NeuroStim TMS, Washington's leading provider of transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS therapy. At NeuroStim TMS, we treat the root of the problem with a series of short daily treatments. Using a non-invasive magnetic field, TMS activates the natural function of the brain's neurotransmitters to improve mood and regulate emotion. TMS is not shock therapy. It's an FDA-approved, easy outpatient experience and covered by all major medical insurances.
There's nothing better than just being able to enjoy life again.
The treatment just completely, fundamentally changed my life.
Visit neurostimtms.com today or call to schedule your free consultation at any of our 12 Washington state locations.
Attention Eastern Washington and Western Idaho shoppers. The great $500,000 Spokane Ennis Fine Furniture Liquidation ends May 4th. It's almost over. This remaining inventory has been slashed with final reductions and it all has to go. Unbelievable. Huge savings. Find these killer deals at our temporary off-site showroom at 7503 North Division next to Big 5. You will not be disappointed. No reasonable offer will be refused.
We are Avanta. Of course we will welcome you with a smile.
We are Avanta. Of course we will always make you feel comfortable.
We're Avanta. Of course we'll take care of your dental emergency the same day.
We're Avanta Dental. Of course we have the latest technology.
We're Avanta. Of course we'll treat you like family.
Call us today at 425-0088 or come visit us in Liberty Lake.
Tee off in style at Circling Ravens' top-tier golf suites. Play more than 80 famous golf courses around the world. It's a hole-in-one for all skill levels. Visit cdacasino.com for details.
Winning is just the beginning.
Well, coming up tonight on Nightside, important votes in the Spokane City Council tonight involving bike safety, LGBTQ plus rights, and alcohol sales. We'll tell you if each measure passes and how these ordinances might affect you tonight at 11.
Your planning forecast. Plan on some rain tomorrow morning, and then that will taper off. I think we'll see some sunshine in the afternoon, but also some hit and miss showers. Then the sunshine is back full force for Wednesday and Thursday.
All right.
I'll have the rain boots ready at the front door.
We'll see you at 11.